Good morning. Yeah, the hair is. Oh my god, it's so not my style. I should have just left it out growing and just deal with it, but it's alright. The last time I had short hair like this style, was when I was in freshman. So, and black cord, so it's like freshman year of tennis all over again. Okay, so we are going to go back into December 19, 2015. We are repeating, and we are repeating a lot, so that means that everybody is getting really frustrated and upset. But the problem is that I can't fix that. I've already given you meaning like the politicians that really are into the physics and tied and affiliated with Jimmy Carter, who is actually the brain of the world next to Shinzo. But I've given you the framework answer solution, which is basically we are sitting on a universal physics grid and of correct and incorrect. So the more correct we do, the further out we go. But if everybody's going to get frustrated and pissed off, well, guess what ends up happening? We end up having incorrects, and it shortens it. But here's the bigger problem. Not everybody is in the same field, like me. So if I were to come into that field, it ends up being 10 times worse because nobody wants to hear a lot of things. And it goes back down to square one. So yes, we are going right back into it. There's a lot of things that I'm doing that are repeats, but they're repeats because these are things that I should have been doing during the 4 years of like the first 3 court cases that I have. And there's something to be said about not winning every single one of them. But I've won every single one of them. I've kept a Twitter account. You guys have printed it all fucking out. And then on top of it, you have not shut down my YouTube either, which means that you still think that there's something else going on. There's nothing really else going on. It's just that's my personality. I've been screwed over way too many times when I was younger. And so what ends up happening is you end up building a defense. No different than like the movie Star Wars and stuff. And Star Trek especially. Okay? So to explain further how this works in the political field, which is it's actually, to be honest with you, the way the fields are laid out, they're all connected, and then when we get into the Biden administration, we end up being in a common field area slightly. The layout is quite different. But like I said, you have to read Flatland to understand this type of quantum physics, so to speak. It's really not quantum physics. It's just that's how it's laid out. So if you read it and you read it without any intentions, just straight out, just like I'm going to read it for what it is, it'll hit you because you'll end up rereading like the first 4 pages like 5 times if you're going to go into it thinking you're going to be a know-it-all about it. There's no need to be a know-it-all, especially with this book. Once you read it and you understand what it is that there's a group of people on one grid, there's a group of people on another grid, there's a group of people on another grid, and so forth. And y'all respond based on how that grid pattern goes. Well, if you guys are constantly fighting with me saying that you know better, but yet we're still repeating going into December 19, 2015, you obviously don't know better. Okay, that's like having 1,000 mice in a mice tank all jumping on the cobra, which is like, did we watch the movie like Aladdin, the second one, and said, I feel inspired to jump on the cobra because that's what the ants did? It's a little messed up. So what we're really asking is that you not write books, okay? To write books means that you're actually wanting to put thoughts in people's heads. You can't do that. And I apologize for this stuff, but I have to, because you guys will carry it through to the point where there is no money anymore. And people are going to continue working and grabbing these fake bogus paychecks, okay? They really are. And unfortunately, we've been through this before without any attempts. And you all went and started bitching me out again. It's not my fault. You just guys need to sit down and just recognize that you just can't do shit. You really can't. You can't write books, and you can't start saying, well, I'm going to make laws just to suit it. The number one problem that Donald Trump did was create a law that says tobacco for 21, no longer 18. That's his first mistake, okay? So I'm helping Trump out a little bit, but not a whole lot, because the Joe Biden administration figured out real fast that no matter how many things you do, and if they're all incorrect, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to get anything afterwards. All right, it's the simple laws of physics. I mean, what do you want me to do about it? I can't do much with it. Now, in pertaining to what I got going on with the senator from South Carolina, look, man, you have a doctor's degree in psychology, but I don't think you need a doctor's degree in psychology to understand the fact that when somebody has said no every single goddamn TikTok lifetime, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. I'm really sorry you had to get that letter. If I have to write that letter again once we go through this, you really are just dumb. You need to be put out like a cat. You really do, because in all fairness, you should recognize that you're not going anywhere with these campaign letters, and you need to close the door. Okay? You need to close the door. A lot of the candidates around you have been saying to you the same thing. And if I got to keep telling you I don't care, you know, and what you do to my freaking whole life when that letter comes in my mailbox, I mean, I don't know how else to spell it. I mean, other than set the house on fire, because that's another Freud. Okay? This whole house is Freud. What it is that if you live with Michael Pence, you'll understand the Father Vulcan Freud theory, which is correct. Okay? Because yesterday my dad decided to put me in a position where it's like, you can't go to work. It's like, excuse me, what do you mean I can't go to work? And it's because I'm not helping out with the family. But nobody's recognizing, like, when I first got here, the family went and started doing this whole, like, stupid shit again with the whole molestation and everything. So it's nerve-wracking, okay? That letter is to put you on the spot to tell you, look, man, you either need to wake up or you need to stop, okay? Because waking up means, like, whoa, wait a minute. I've seen this way too many times. But stopping actually means, like, whoever you got, I really don't care. I don't care about you. Every single time you touch my fucking mailbox, the whole apocalypse comes into my home. The whole apocalypse. And it's like, how fast can you rush out of it? And having the worst fear ever, which is heights, it's a losing battle. It's an actual losing battle. That gift card was to just, it's a courtesy. I don't know if you've ever done any type of walk door-to-door type of political campaign. It's a courtesy. What that means is that we'll give you what we don't really need, and you can have it. But don't come in and step on my porch. Don't tread on my property. Don't tread on me, okay? I'm asking you that, okay? Because my parents, they're done. They're done with all this. They have their own worries going on right now. And my sister, she's in her own little political campaign. She's with the Bernie Sanders and Sarah Huckabee. And she's in her own little world. If I have to pull her in like I did the last time, it's going to be a sad day in hell. It really is, because she just doesn't care anymore. She's, you know, her life gets turned upside down when she gets a certain letter. And it happens because we're fighting with the fact that she's got a cat that's it's just not getting better. Okay. My cats, on the other hand, they're all Freud cats, except for the one that I got to put to sleep. Okay. And yes, I have to go through with the boo-hoos and stuff, because it's just like, if I don't go through the boo-hoos, let me tell you what happened. And I'm pretty sure I recorded it. And if I didn't, well, Scientology gets the new news. But within the first 2.5 weeks when we moved, my ex-husband and I moved to 573 South Main Street in Attleboro. Okay, 573 South Main Street in Attleboro, Massachusetts. I had told him, no LLC, and the whole face changed to complete rage, premeditated rage. And I don't need to watch a whole lot of NCIS or Dexter to know what rage looks like on somebody's face. I mean, I'm pretty sure I read it well in psychology. And my mom had a criminal psychology book lingering around here when she was trying to get her associate's degree in criminal justice. So I'm well fluent about all these names these FBI so-called agents are throwing out. By the way, you guys really need to stop throwing out fake badges to support this man's campaign, because there are certain colors and there's a certain distinction that stands out on the badges, and no, you're going to get the cold shoulder. Always. So I don't know who the hell you sent out, but you seriously need to talk to them, because they were caught on the mall camera, the mall officers. I mean, anybody can pretend to be the FBI agent, the FBI office, and pull off something. Really, you just need to have money here in Michigan to pull it off. And my court case is one of them. It really is. Okay. And you probably forgot that TikTok too, but there's 2 other politicians that haven't forgot that TikTok. Okay, so remember, not every politician got their amygdala like fucked up, like mine and like a couple other people. And fucked up means like attempted, because you guys did attempt to shoot me in that area, so this way we wouldn't have this problem. Oh no, I remember every single TikTok and every single attempt, because I couldn't pay off my student loans. This debt never gets paid off. Never, ever got paid off. And it became an ordeal when I had to collect unemployment, which is 1 2. I'm going to say it again, 1 2. Always, it's a 1 2. In Freud, that means that you've nailed everything in your life correct to recognize the 1 2. And you need to recognize that. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, take me off your mailing list. You have no right to do it. I do not belong in your state. And number 2, I'm pretty sure I wrote down I was supporting Donald Trump on one of the responses back. Okay? So we need to recognize when somebody opens the door, says, look, I don't support you, I support Trump, this is all the checks that I've written to him. You need to recognize that. That's in the AP Government and Law book too, by the way. And it's in every version. The reason why Gary Peters picked the version for this state is because he's been senator every single time of his TikTok. And that book has saved his life in every situation that is, I'm going to say, private. Okay? Because there's something unique about Gary Peters, and everybody knows it. We all know it. Okay? So you can't compete with Gary Peters. As far as who's on the pedestal, Gary Peters is number 1 as far as senator goes. You really are just a nobody. You ruin people's lives as soon as these letters come in. It's recognizable. It's well seen. And it's also understood that you are not Freud at all, that you're Carl Jung, which makes it really worse. That means that if I were to live in your state, that means I have to invest my first 4 years of income into mental health just to get some sort of recognition that I am actually able to work. Okay, that's not how this goes. In fact, Gary Peters, okay, does not support that type of mental health. All right, he doesn't. And the way I know it is because of my former boss, who told me, look, if you got self-esteem issues, you need to find another group of women to be around. That's how he put it. The guy was a hound, just like some of the other politicians are telling you this theory, okay, this Freud theory. I'm not here to joust with you educationally, flirting, and all this stuff. You're grotesque to me. You're grotesque, your death and everything. You're everything on top of the tower that I got to deal with. I mean, it's bad enough I got to deal with what's around it, inside it, and everything. And, Miriam being out there saying, at any moment, you can just let me know when to start turning the hose on. Okay? Because that's what she is. She's just like, this is interesting. This is mommy, being at her best, and then you just have to fucking land on it. Why? Why do you got to ruin my life? Why you got to ruin my life? I don't ruin yours. I don't do anything. But if you keep calling for no reason, then you seriously picked all the wrong treats too, and all the wrong people to be around. Try being in the beginning completely one-man show, like one politician did. Because that's how Gary Peters started. He was a one-man show. There's a certain high attraction to Gary Peters' story about how he's a one-man show and everything. And it was in the photo. It was in the photo of this glorious AP Government and Law book. So you really can't compete by saying, well, I need these people. You really don't need these people. You don't. You start off as a male. Most male cats, they walk alone and stuff. And it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm king of the world. I can do whatever the hell I want. Follow that. Follow Tomcat theory, because that's a Freud theory too. Why y'all need these these side alley cats? I don't have a fucking clue. I don't have a clue. That's Miriam's Freud. Miriam is all cats. Like, if she had to do her own movie, she'd be the hottest chick on the block, seriously. But Mir is on the same path as me. In fact, we're fighting for the same snake abdomen stomach muscle. So that right there, I swear to God, it's the funniest shit. So that is the piece from the Shintoism is actually trying to come in. So that will be the new religion when everything is all said and done, because we are going to hear the biggest chew out from Shinto, because it's not quite fun to reintroduce the emperor and the empress all over again. Like, it's not fun at all. It's not, because in fact he actually shows it, like, seriously, we gotta fucking go through this again. And it's probably not fun when he's got to conduct the same diet meeting all over again. And it's just, it's just, he's going to lose his mind. I'm surprised he hasn't turned into a cobra and scaled up the wall at the same thing. And in Freud, that actually means fed up. Just fucking fed up. There's got to be a way out. There is. Unfortunately for me, because I have the biggest fear of heights, I can actually slither down an abyss and just pray to God that there's going to be a ledge that doesn't exist and fall to my aimless death. Unfortunately, Shinto doesn't have the fear of heights, so he has to keep scaling the fucking walls of what's enclosed around him. You guys are just, you're a joke. You're a joke. You and the other senators that agree with you, you're a joke. Your state is dried out, and it shows once it lands in my mailbox. Please, I'm asking you not to send anything to my mailbox. Take me off your mailing list. And if you can't get your secretaries in line, I will call Kasich. I will call Kasich, because that is one thing I did do one time, and yes, it was painful for everybody, but I'm pretty sure Kasich doesn't agree with you sending all this shit out either, okay? Because there's other better things to do, like golf. If you want my training clubs, I can give them to you too. I mean, is that what you want? You're jealous because, like, Trump's got like a $500,000 golf club sitting in the backseat of his, like, bodyguard's trunk? I mean, they're just girls' training clubs. If that's what you need, I mean, they outdo his glitter. They really do. I can give that to you. I don't need it. I've already got my 1-2 in sports, my 1-2. And bowling is not dried out for me. Oh, no. No. It just means that you won't get into a certain conversation with Trump and the other politicians. That's all, because they're into it, too. Do you want my cue stick, too? I mean, you want that? I can give that to you. That's not part of it, either. I mean, just knock. We'll give you the whole yard sale at this point, because it's just like, what aren't you understanding? Because I don't support you, and I don't agree with you in anything. I don't even agree with the whole Supreme Court justice approval shit that you did. That was stupid. In fact, was it not you four, Corbett, Bader, you, Trump, and Kavanaugh, that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure is the back trunk of Bader's car. I'm pretty sure it was. Because Bader has never received a salary as a Supreme Court justice. And that was fact brought to us by Senator Peters. And he's always proud to tell us that. So I'm pretty sure that my paycheck became her paycheck that day. And I'm going to leave it at that. Senator Lindsey Graham, when we go back through, if this letter comes back into my mailbox once again, I'm returning it to you directly at your office, not your campaign office, directly at your office, and you will have to deal with it. Per the First Amendment, if I have denied your freedom of speech onto my property using the Don't Tread on Me Act, you have to listen. You have to listen, and you can't reattempt, because part of that Don't Tread on Me Act means that one bite, one sting, one trip to the hospital. That's it. It's supposed to go based off of the snake that bites you. That's that whole point. Okay? I'm asking no one trip to the hospital. I'm asking that you just understand it's just a bite. Okay? And you need to be well aware of that. And you need to be in control of your campaigns, because I don't believe in anything you write. I don't believe in anything you write. You're like Good Morning Vietnam. You're like Robin Williams to me. And I'm on the other side of it. I'm actually the evening shift, believe it or not, the one where they play the jazz music and everything, the one that just reads the news for what it is, knowing that they're not going to get anything bogus. I paid attention well to that movie too. You know, the morning shift is all hype and everything, yeah, gung ho and all this stuff. Then comes the afternoon into the evening shift. Now we're gonna get right down to it. You're well aware of that structure, okay? You need to get yourself in check, because I have to walk back into the state, and we're trying to perfect something here in this state so that there's a better outcome for Gary Peters on this part of it, because it just doesn't hit me. There's other girls and other young males that get hit with it also, with you, okay? Because it was a unanimous vote that you just are gas dead fried.